And again, my team back in those days, just for your information, and I suppose it's more or less known, it's kind of elite researchers. It's elite reverse engineers. In my humble opinion, one of the best in the industry. Again, finding vulnerabilities and doing reverse engineering slightly two different things, but still, even my guys, they found a bunch of different 0 days.
Yeah, it's just a it's a fascinating situation, to kind of think about, right? So, if I were to, or if someone were to, try and get started today, right? Try and get into malware reverse engineering today. What would you recommend that they do? Where should they start? Is there a book that they should get to go through and set up a lab at home? I mean, there's a lot of databases out there with a bunch of different kinds of malware in it that you could potentially download, and hopefully you don't infect yourself and then reverse it, right? But what do you recommend for people that are trying to get started?
Listen, the simple piece of advice, at least from my side, if you do want to focus on reverse engineering, which is slightly strange nowadays, right?
Yeah.
I don't know so many people focusing on reverse engineering, but still I know, by the way, very cool young minds, at least in the country where I live now. They're such a crazy, interesting people, and they're becoming more and more. So it's about self-learning. It's about there are so many different courses available online. Just watch it, read it, play with it. The more you have your hands dirty, the better. As you said, set up a some kind of a lab environment at home. Be careful with all those payloads. I don't know. And it's just about like the obvious question is why do you want to do it? Like what is your main interest? My usual kind of reply and vision when I did like so many different lectures in different universities, not only Russia and many different places. Like people are asking, how do you define, is it like a good reverser or a bad reverser? And you can't define it like on the first interview, right? But the obvious thing is that when you're bored by developing, you're not interested in the development. Development is boring when when you like big fan of cracking, when you're a big fan of like broken something, when you're a big fan of like hacking something. That is the story behind the good reverser in my again experience. But yeah, it's more or less there is no any kind of university or college where you can learn for reverse engineering. It's mainly about huge amount of time you're investing to kind of self-learning.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. A long time ago, I tried to like go down a little bit more of that path, right, to learn it a little bit better. And I will when I'm done with my PhD. But I just remember trying to get, I think it was like the Cuckoo Sandbox. I think it might have been. I tried to get that thing working, and I just could not figure out how to get it working properly to like, properly configure it and have it sequestered off from the rest of the device and the internet and everything. And I spent probably like a month just trying to get that thing to work. But it's a really fascinating